Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Investor Education Series from Pakistan Institute of Corporate Governance. My name is Talha bin Hamid, and I am working as Head of Director and Training Development at the PICG. Today, we are going to discuss a very exciting topic, board composition and structure. Is there an ideal board size? There is no universal template for an ideal board, as per Harvard Business Review. And why is that? Because every organization is different. Its size, its dynamics, its demographics are all different. And that is why it is hard to pin down a single ideal size or composition of a board of. Due to the impact of technology and complexities of businesses, it is becoming increasingly important to have the right skill set on the board. Diversity of age, skills, gender, and geography add significant value to the board. The board shall comprise of members having an appropriate mix of core competencies. Diversity represents skills, knowledge, experience, and fulfills any other criteria as deemed relevant in the context of the company's operation. There are various types of director. There is the chairman, there's the chief executive officer, executive directors, which are actually employees of the company, non-executive directors who are not employees but who may be nominees from another organization or a shareholder. There are independent directors who have no stake in the company other than the bare minimum necessary to hold a directorship. There are nominee directors and then there are alternate directors. Executive versus non-executive directors. A board of directors consists of both executive and non-executive directors. Executive director is someone who is in an operational role within the company. A non-executive director is maybe dependent or it may be an interested director. Director responsibility is common and there's no distinction between the various categories of director as far as responsibility is concerned. All directors are required to comply with the relevant legal provisions and they are required to meet the standard of conduct when performing their functions and duties as directors. As per the Listed Companies Code of Corporate Governance Regulations 2019, it is mandatory that each listed company shall have at least two or one-third members of the board, whichever is higher, as independent directors. Subject to Section 154 of the Act, it is mandatory that the board shall have at least one female director when it is reconstituted after the expiry of its current terms. Similarly, executive directors, it is mandatory that the executive directors, including the chief executive officer, shall not be more than one-third of the board. State Bank also has specified some requirements for the board of directors, which are as follows. The board shall collectively have adequate knowledge, expertise, and skill mix commensurate with the business model, overall size, complexity, and risk profile of the bank or DFI. Further, the board should collectively have a reasonable understanding of local, regional, and if appropriate, global economic and market forces and of the legal and regulatory environment. Secondly, at least one-third of the total strength of the board of a bank or DFI other than joint ventures between government of Pakistan and other governments, should consist of independent directors. Thirdly, the bank or DFI shall take necessary steps to ensure that the minority shareholders as a class are facilitated to contest election of directors by proxy solicitation. Moreover, while formulating the board, the following requirements shall be complied with. The number of directors who are family members shall not exceed 25% of total board members. Maximum two members of the board of a bank or DFI, including its president, CEO, or MD, can be the executive directors. And at least one female director shall be appointed on the board who should not be a close relative of any other director or sponsor shareholder, the bank, or DFI. Now, in this case, close relatives can also mean spouses, lineal ascendants, and descendants and siblings. It's like listed companies and banks, there are some specific requirements for state-owned enterprises as well. A board of a company shall consist of independent directors, ex officio directors, and the chief executive officer of the company with the requisite knowledge, skills, competence, experience, and approach so that the board as a group includes core competencies and diversity required to assist the company achieve its primary objective. The majority of the board shall consist of independent directors, and no person shall be appointed or nominated as a director of more than 5 state-owned enterprises simultaneously, including their subsidiaries. An independent member shall not serve for more than 9 years on the board and shall not be appointed to the same board after 2 consecutive terms unless a period of 3 years has lapsed. Now, some of these requirements will be applicable to a single company. For example, a company that is a listed company, but is also a bank or DFI, and is also a state-owned enterprises. You will also notice that there's a degree of overlap or similarity between all these requirements. That is because regardless of the industry, regardless of the sector, and regardless of the composition of an organization, best practices for the board remain the same. We hope that this short video helped you gain a little bit better understanding about the desired composition of a board, the attributes that it should have, and the types of directors that it should have. Thank you.